Hey, it's Don Skaggs again with Empowered Inventing, the one place where we try to help you help other people by taking your great idea, your innovation, your startup, and turning them into real things like products and businesses. And those products and businesses that you help people with, those people send you certificates of appreciation called dollar bills. Now, I want to talk to you today about traps. And there's a lot of traps, a lot of things that you could just holes you could step in along your journey that could just really trip you up. And a lot of the things out there that a lot of the inventor groups like ours and just a lot of good resources will warn you about are a lot of the scam companies out there. And as a matter of fact, the United States Patent and Trademark Office, the USPTO, actually has a warning page that they have warning signs. And this is actually a copy of one of the pages right here, and it's kind of neat because I don't know if you can see the illustration here, but it's like the shell game. It's like these three cups and they're like moving them around, you know, the old shell game, because there's a lot of companies out there that kind of do that. And even on the USPTO website, they say watch out for a lot of these ads on TV and the radio, in magazines, where they'll offer you like a free kit, and all you have to do is just send us this thing, and then they're going to come back and say you need a market evaluation. And one of the big signs that we always talk about with a lot of the scam companies out there is that they will hound you with phone calls. And usually if they're chasing you, there's something just not right about it. You know, if it smells like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, guess what? It's a duck. Do ducks smell? I don't know. Anyway, but just watch out for the scam companies. That's a potential trap. This is a potential trap, and the USPTO is really good about warning you about that. They even had the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, and actually passed some judgments against some of these companies. I think one got shut down not that long ago, down in Florida, I want to say. But even when they do that, a lot of times these guys are slick. They'll just go slither up underneath a rock somewhere and pop out somewhere else. So you have to watch out by what they do. You have to watch out for the warning signs. But I'm not really totally wanting just to talk to you about the scam companies. We've got a whole other video on that. We teach a class on that. But instead of just talking to you about the scam companies and what they do, there's other traps out there. There's traps that are hiding in plain sight that can actually hurt you as an inventor or as an entrepreneur. And one of those things, one of these traps that has nothing to do with scam companies, but it's just as lethal a trap for your success, and that's falling in love with your idea. If you've got this feeling that, oh, it's just perfect, just the way it is. I've thought about this for a long time, and you know, if you're thinking about something for a long time all by yourself, and you're not getting any input, and you're not connecting with any other people, and you're living in your own little bubble universe, as we like to say, you end up kind of getting this idea that it's perfect just the way it is. And what you've not found out is it perfect the way it is when it relates to other people. And those other people are going to tell you that by being actual customers and actually giving you money to buy one, or want to know how soon they can buy one. They want to hand you money right now. That's what really tells you if it's perfect the way it is. If they're not doing that, guess what? It's not perfect the way it is. So let's say you don't want to hear that, though. You don't want to hear other people's input. You don't want to hear, well, you know, this would be great. I wouldn't really want one like this, but you know, if it did this over here, and you started hearing a lot of this over here things, but you don't want to hear that, then you may be falling in love with your idea. And if you're the only one that loves it, guess what? You're going to be your only customer. So also, if you're not getting real customer input. What I mean is yeah, maybe your spouse said it was great. Maybe your uncle or your some other relative or your next door neighbor didn't want to hurt your feelings, or even the guy you buy coffee from at the coffee shop. You know, he's not one to hurt your feelings. Hey, he's just selling you coffee. And so that's not real customer input. That's not people that's actually buying it. Actually, real customers out there that say, yes, I do want one of these. How soon can I get one? Why are they not ready already? That's the customer input you want. So another thing is, if you're not willing to change anything, you hear these input, you hear these things of, oh yes, it would really solve my problem if it did this. But you're saying, no, you don't understand. You see, it's supposed to work this way. And supposed to work this way means it's only going to work for you. It's not going to work for anybody else. So that's a trap, falling in love with your idea. Now another potential trap, a big hole you can just kind of really step into. You ever hear these people, they're running through a field and they step in a big hole and they end up breaking their leg? You can break your leg with this. Not really break your leg, but you know what I'm saying, break the leg of your progress and impede you from moving forward. And that is spending big dollars before you know whether you have a market or not. And this is so sad because I've seen it so many times with people, inventors and entrepreneurs. They have, they think they have to have that issued patent. I talked to one startup team one time, and I still can't believe I heard this. They said, well, Don, now our attorney told us that we really can't even talk about this to anybody until we get our patent issued. And I'm thinking, that has got to be the craziest advice I've ever heard. Issued patents do not mean instant millionaire. And if you're spending $10,000 on a patent, well, I finally got my patent, I'm ready to see if I have a market. And then you don't have a market, guess what? You've just wasted $10,000. Don't do that. There are cheaper ways. There's a lean patent strategy. We teach it. There's other good ways to learn how to do this. It's out there. You can do this, and you can do this on the cheap. I've done it. I've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of other people do it successfully, and I know you can do this too. So now, another thing, if you spend a lot of money, molds are expensive. If you think, oh, well, Don, you don't understand, this has got to be shaped this perfect way, it's got to be this perfect thing, because I believe it should be this perfect way, and you think you have to have a mold. Molds are expensive, and many times they're unnecessary. Learn the old military acronym called COTS, C-O-T-S, that stands for Components Off the Shelf. COTS are your best friend, not just the ones you sleep on either. They are components off the shelf. It does not have to be expensive. Take things off the shelf. You start out with a Franken-type, by the way. Don't spend a whole bunch of money on a prototype before you know it's going to work. You do that Franken-type first, and we teach this in a lot of other videos and a lot of our classes. You do the Franken-type first, then you build. Once you get that just really hammered out, you've done it on the cheap, you haven't spent a lot of money, then you move on to the demo type. And then that's pretty, and then that gets a whole lot of crash and burn iterations as you are engaging with the market. Again, you're getting that input from the outside, from real customers. Expensive marketing is another thing you could spend way too much money on if you're not ready. If you're buying a big booth and you've not really went to a small show, or you've not went and been an attendee at a show, and you don't even really haven't been to a show and don't understand the industry all that well, that's spending a lot of money. That's going up to the casino, that's rolling the dice, that's laying all your money out and saying, well, I hope the dice roll's okay. No, there's lots smarter ways to do this. Don't spend a lot of money on literature. Don't spend a lot of money on booths. Make you a simple sell sheet. There's lots of cheaper ways to do this. Don't spend big money. It's a big trap to spend big money when you can do it lean, you can do it smart. If you take, you put, again, I can't say this enough, you put three things in an invention: you put time, you put money, but you put wisdom. And if you don't have the wisdom first, you'll take that time and money and spend them in the wrong places. So now, lastly, when you do hear the right input, and you're getting that right input, and you're accepting that right input, and you're doing it lean, don't listen to the naysayers. that can be a big trap too. You know, there's usually I'll hear different things from inventors, especially when in the friends and family realm, is that, oh yeah, they just told me this was great. Well, they're not good people to tell you that. You know, they might not be not wanting to hurt your feelings. Or they may be completely, oh, you can't do that. You know, Sarah Blakely, I've said this before in another video not that long ago. Sarah Blakely, the advice from her family and friends for Spanx. Now, she is now a billionaire with a B. Started out in her apartment. And they told little Sarah, oh, Sarah, you know, don't you think somebody would have already done this if this was really a good idea? So don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to people who have never done it successfully. Surround your people. Now I know that sounds like, oh, Don, you're saying listen to people. You're saying don't listen to people. No, I'm saying listen to the right people. Don't listen to the wrong people. And the reason I say that is because you can listen to the wrong people, people who've never done it successfully. Surround yourself with good people who have done it, who have been successful. Get their input, and that will really help you avoid this trap of listening to the naysayers. Because you know, if you listen to a naysayer long enough, you'll start to believe them. And you'll start to say, well, you know, maybe Joe's right about this. Maybe he knows. You know, he's older than I am, or he's kind of dabbled in this one time. Maybe he dabbled in it and failed, and he's just kind of got, you know, sour grapes. You never know. But focus on real customer input, and this is what I keep saying: not yourself, and not on other non-customers. If they're a non-customer, their input is almost not valuable when it comes to customer input. You want customer input from real customers. They will say yes with commitments to buy, commitments to have a transaction with you. That's how you get real good input. So avoid that trap. Avoid spending too much money. Avoid falling in love with your idea, and for the love of God, please do not fall for the scam companies that are out there. Watch the warning signs. Again, USPTO helps a lot with that. Get with a good inventors group. Ours is kyinventors.org, or go to the IGA invent group, inventleader.org. They have all the organizations from all over the country, including ours, and it's a really, really good place to get with other people who really know how to do this and how to do this right. So anyway, I'm Don Skaggs. This is Empowered Inventing TV. I hope you liked this. If you did, if you thought this was helpful, if you think this will be helpful for someone else, please share it. Please like and subscribe. Help us to build our tribe. And I will look to see you at the next meeting, workshop, maybe one of our online classes, or on the next video.